years to get my first viral video. So not only back then that I have to edit videos the whole day, especially my computer back then was really low spec. The editing takes longer because YouTube is exhausting. Not only that you have to edit the videos all day, after you edit the videos all day, you're going to edit the thumbnail all day. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not kidding. You have to edit the thumbnail all day. So imagine that. And after you edit the thumbnail all day, so takes hours to edit a thumbnail. So if you want a really great thumbnail, maybe an
More speed.
hour or 30 minutes for a really good thumbnail. If you want, after that, you have to up
Crush.
to promote that video all day. So you have to spend like maybe an hour or two promoting that video, sharing that video, talking to people, sharing it everywhere, every platform. Maybe an hour, I guess. So I still do spend like maybe 30 minutes at least to promote and share some videos. So it's really a lot of hard work. So maybe one video will
More
take
speed.
you like, yeah, upload, yeah, that's why I upload more than edit. So maybe one video will take you like maybe 8 hours to edit and promote and make a thumbnail. And then not to mention that if your internet is slow, it will take hours for the video to upload. So maybe like 10 hours of work per video, and then it will only get 1 view, 5 views,
Beg for
0
mercy.
views, 10 views. So it's really not worth all the pain and the sorrow. And
More
my
speed.
hands, my hand will hurt all day, and my butt will hurt all day, my back will hurt all day, and then what you have to show for is like 5 views. So yeah, so unless you're like a drama content creator or you show some booba or you're a very exciting, charismatic, if you have like top tier quality content, your subscribers are not gonna watch your
Solidified.
videos. I don't know why they watch.
More speed.
I don't know why they watch the subscribe, but
Crush.
don't watch my videos anyway. Even though lately I just keep making Genshin videos, so I thought that most of my subscribers now they are just Genshin videos, but it's hard to get the subscribers' attention. I can't always make viral videos. I mean, some viral videos is like some stroke of luck or just some stroke of inspiration or genius. So I can't always do the same uh, viral videos, and if you keep doing the same type of videos that went viral, you could like get your subscribers bored, I guess. So it's complicated. So, but I don't do promotions. I can't afford. I can't afford giveaways, so it's really hard. So that's why I just have my expectations low, and just hang out with whoever
Aristocratic
people that
etiquette is all just for
wants to
show.
hang out and wants to
Just
support
smile
my
and nod
work.
along. I was forced to learn all of the rules by heart, but even I don't take them that seriously.
Well, if you established, if your channel is established, YouTube can pay your rent, provided that you only live a very simple, minimalistic life. So don't expect so much. That's why I'm looking for other forms of income right now because you can't expect uh, YouTube to pay your rent and then live a very exciting or more comfortable life.
Shudder!
Especially if you're a small channel. So I'm also considering going back to work, but but the pandemic and but the pandemic is making it hard for me to go back to work because I don't want to get vaccinated all the time. If you want to go back to work, you need to regularly be vaccinated every couple of months. So it's annoying. It can pay your rent if you live a simple life. If you're single, but I don't think it might be enough to raise a family, depending on the cost of your living. Where do you live, by the way? So what I could suggest is just have YouTube as like a side hustle, and it's better for you to have like a full-time job. At least you can secure your future, your rent, your food, your family, your clothing, your needs, your bills, your medical. Oh, you live in Poland? Okay. I don't have any. Well, I don't have any idea on the cost of living on those countries, but it's really hard, you know. And the main thing that I can't
Beg
recommend
for mercy.
to make Genshin a full-time job is that
Shudder.
you could get demonetized anytime, or YouTube can do some insane stuff like raise the taxes anytime, or maybe change the algorithm again. So they always change it, and yeah, one day you could lose YouTube. One day YouTube will suddenly decide, even though if you don't have any violations, YouTube will suddenly disappear, something like that. So it's very risky. So I do not I cannot advise it to make a full time, to rely your rent and your daily expenses, your food, and raising your family with YouTube. Well, well, unless you're like if you have like millions of hundreds of thousands of subscribers, I mean, you might regret quitting your job for YouTube. Let's say YouTube can pay your rent this month, but next month it might not be able to pay your rent, especially when with the pandemic going on. So uh, and global issues like war, so YouTube revenue is affected by that. So it's very risky. The only reason that I'm able to risk it because I have a lot of backup plans.
Solidify.
I was demonetized back then, so I had to go back to my job. So if I get demonetized again, no problem. I just go back to getting a new job. It's easier for me. Well, for me, I find it. I can find a job like in a week for me. And even though if I don't want to get a job yet, I can just go back to our farm. My family is well off, so I can risk it. So yeah. Well, I'm also stressed with YouTube as well,
Gather.
because it's like with the global issues. I got like an email a month ago that YouTube revenue is going down again. So it's going down. So if
Solidify.
if you can pay your rent this month, next month it might not be able to pay your rent because
Judgment.
it
Punishment.
will go down
Beg for mercy.
most of the time, especially with the pandemic and global issues right now. Well, it only pays your rent. So how about your food? So what about your electric bills, your internet bills? your cell phone bills, your data. So you need more than that. You need more than $500 to survive in your country. So if you just pay rent, so and YouTube is your only income source, and well, it pays rent, but you cannot eat. So that's a problem. You can't buy clothes. You can't save money for the future. You can't pay for medical insurance.
More speed.
So when I first got demonetized, I quit my job like maybe 2 months before I got demonetized, like a couple years ago. It was pretty insane. So I really regret quitting my job, and then I got demonetized like a couple of months later. So it was pretty insane. So YouTube is not like it's not safe. You know, if you want to eat and have a roof over your head, it's not safe. So it was a terrible traumatic experience. Well, good thing for me is, as I've said, I can find a job like in a week or two based on my qualifications and my skills. But I had to go back working again for like three years until I was able to quit my job again and do YouTube. Well, back then I was doing earning very little, which is just good for rent. Well, because the rent is cheap here, but if you
Beg for
if your
mercy.
rent is cheap, so is your accommodation, your environment, your apartment is cheap as well. So and especially the environment. So you live in a like if your rent is cheap and you want to survive with YouTube, as I did back then. So yeah, I didn't live in a I rented in a very bad neighborhood, and it was a very small place. Whereas if we just had a if I just had kept my job, I would have been able to rent or live in a nicer place and eat nicer food. So yeah, so back
More
then I
speed.
didn't earn that much, so I still risk it. So that means I had to be very frugal and minimalistic. So I was so you're always afraid and that you will get demonetized or you will not earn enough on YouTube next month. So but I have a lot of savings, but still. So you're always
Beg for mercy.
you're always trying to be frugal. So you will earn like you will only eat very cheap food that you don't like.
Shut up.
Well, so that's why I also can risk it because I also have other sources of income. I I, I have a lot of sources of income like buying and selling and other side hustles. But the problem is as well, you can't rely on your side hustles as well because of the pandemic. So most of my customers, well, 99% of my customers are can't and I've lost a lot of them, maybe 99% because during the pandemic I wasn't able to sell stuff for like until maybe almost a year after the pandemic. So because before the pandemic I can
More
mostly
speed.
every week I will have like some customers, maybe three customers a week for one of my side hustles. But when the pandemic came in, uh, the customers for my other side hustles and most of my side hustles are becoming even more rare. So having a stable job nowadays is a lot safer economy wise. So I quit my job during the pandemic. So now I'm stuck with if I want to go back to a job, I need to get vaccinated. But compared to if you already have a job, I think some cases you don't need to be vaccinated because you already have a job and you can just like come up with
More
excuses or
speed.
maybe doctor certificates that you should be vaccinated if you don't want to, but something stuff like that. It would be easier to keep your job if you already have a job rather than finding a new job during this pandemic. You want to quit YouTube and then you might regret, and then you want to come back to a job, and it will require you to be fully vaccinated. And fully vaccinated, I think, takes a lot of time to be fully vaccinated. You can't just get fully vaccinated in a week, I guess. I think so. I'm not sure. I have no idea, but I think that's what I think. Well, it's risky. It's very risky, so I can't recommend it. But for me, I just have a lot of I have a lot of options or safety nets. I have a lot of savings, so even though I will not, let's say YouTube disappears for some reason, YouTube just decided to disappear. Well, I can live for like
Solidify.
2 years without working because I have savings. So, but
Order
if I want, I
guide
can
you.
just go back to our farm, to home to our farm. So, if I want, I can just live with my other family members or friends, and then be forced to get a job. But at least I would have like 2 years of spending. Yes, so that's one of the of my preparations. So I had to work like 3 years and save like 2 years of worth of daily expenses in case something happens, because I'm gonna quit my job and be a full-time YouTuber. So in case demonetization happens again, so I will have like 1 year, at least 1 year of living comfortably, 6 months or 1 year of living comfortably, eating at least I will be able to eat nice things. So yeah, so I guess that's it. I don't have any content to do, so I will stream again on my other accounts. So, well, if you have one more question, we can go with that. So yeah, so now talking about it, so I was able to remember all those like traumatic experience with risking quitting my job for YouTube. It was very, very, especially with the pandemic. But for me, I learned to accept that in case YouTube goes away, yeah, whatever. I'll just go back to my job, no problem. Or go back to our farm, no problem. I was going to say something, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, YouTube, you don't have any medical benefits. So, so I'm also looking for a new insurance provider. Well, I'm not really that calm and steady, but I try to deal with it. When
Osmanthus
I'm
wine tastes the same as
not
I
calm,
remember.
I let it out. I find a way to let it out, to express what I feel. So I find some anger management because this lifestyle is very scary, you know. As I told you, I just got like an email last month saying that YouTube revenue will be reduced again because of the global war.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references.
Well, I'm not as calm. Well, sometimes you can see some angry videos from me, so
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I
just to
remember.
express and let out some
But
steam.
where are those who share the memory?
I just gotta learn to deal with it and try to come up with solutions. Well, maybe if it wasn't a pandemic, I can recommend quitting YouTube for a job, but it's because if there wasn't a pandemic, you can do some side hustles. But now that there's a pandemic,
Osmanthus wine tastes
it's
the
virtually
same as I
impossible to do a
remember.
side hustle
But where are those who share the memory?
because you also have to face the anxiety of being in contact with people because of the virus, being afraid of the virus. And most of my customers don't have any money anymore, so my sales drop.
Boats
So I
are
can
made for
like for my
transferring
side hustle, I
commodities
can
back and
sell a
forth.
couple of
And
items
those that
every
come across Liyue tend to stay a while.
now and
Though it
then.
is where
But
many
compared
things
to
come
like
to settle.
when there was no pandemic, uh, most likely I would have like a schedule to
Osmanthus
meet up with a
wine tastes the same as I remember.
later.
But where are those who share the memory?
Well, that's the problem. For me, it's like less than $1 because $1 is not accurate because it depends on a lot of factors, and especially example YouTube keeps changing their like you need a minimum of
Osmanthus wine
eight
tastes the
minute
same as I
videos
remember.
if you want to,
But
or
where are
longer
those who
if you want to
share the
have like
memory?
1,000 $1 per 1K views. You need like more than 8 minute or 10 more than 10-minute videos with a lot of ads between. But the problem is you will be forced to make the video longer.
Every journey has its
Let's say
final
it's just
detail.
like a guide.
Don't
It's
rush.
just the guide that you make is 5 minutes, so you will be forced to to make the video longer. So if you want more ads, so that means you will spend more time editing and producing and recording. But in the end, that video will only get 5 views, so it's still useless. Well, it depends. It depends as
Osmanthus
well on the
wine
type of
tastes the
content,
same as I remember. But where are those who
and maybe
share the
depends on where
memory?
you live in. I'm not sure, so there's no accurate of how much per 1K view.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could get demonetized anytime. So if you quit your job and then the next week you get demonetized, so you're gonna regret it.